I think I'm going to drink.
This is the Tactical Muffin Top. Muffin Top. Special Sunday edition. What's up, everybody? I'm joined with our special guest, Mike Tango Whiskey 1. He's on video because he's super cool. And we got Justin B. and Lawfully Armed.
What's up, gents?
Woo! Starting off strong.
Ahoy.
I better get my muffin game going. So,
Don't mind me, I'm going to stuff my face.
That's all right.
I was literally in the middle of trimming up some chicken, but
I did that today.
so I figure I've got the turkeys thawing out for the smoker, so I'm gonna run a whole bunch of broth, so I might as well trim up some chicken.
Heck yeah. I'm going to be smoking some turkeys this week as well. And maybe a ham. We'll see. But, well, I'm joined by somebody who's way bigger than my channel, like 70 times fold.
70-fold.
So it's pretty cool that you're hopping in with smaller channels like this. And
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you how to do this panel thing. It's super easy on this app.
On
surprised.
StreamYard?
Yeah. I do Rumble too, just because StreamYard only lets you do so many hours for free, and I'm cheap.
Yeah, you and me both.
So, but this is the most user friendly one. But
No, thanks for having me, man.
yeah, man. So for the people that haven't seen you, let's because Gnostic Nomad's actually the one who turned me on to you.
Yeah.
And he's a good dude, and I had him on the other day.
Yeah, he's been pretty active over on my channel, so it's been nice.
Yeah, he hits up in my Discord pretty regular too. He's a good dude.
I watched his live the other day. I swear it was like 6 hours long. I logged on, but as I was at work for right in first thing in the morning, he was out there screwing around with chickens. And then I logged back in at lunch. Dude was still in his yard, like working, showing tools. And I was like, bro, have you been on for 6 hours? Like, what is it?
Yeah. I like to hop on those live streams while I'm at work because it gets boring listening to the radio, the same 6 songs.
Right.
So that's good. No, he's a good dude. I was watching his mushroom spore thing, and I'm going to try to attempt it. I think that'd be a good guerrilla garden contendant if you didn't have a lot of space. If you core your logs and just kind of put them out in places that aren't going to get like chemically sprayed by the city or whatever, if you live in urban suburbia.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up that video the other night too, because I went and watched that one, and stuff. seems
pretty chill. I mean, just to do he said I think the oyster variant of mushrooms don't have a poisonous lookalike, so it's like the safest one to attempt. So that's cool.
And the spores are cheap.
Yeah.
Mushrooms scare me.
Yeah, they're okay.
But after watching the video, it built up some confidence.
Yeah, they make some. I tell you what, I do like these little medallions with my ground up deer burger, kind of like little oval deals. You do like little cracker patties, and I mix that brown gravy in with a pound of mushrooms, and it makes that gravy so rich. It's so good. Throw that on some rice or mashed potatoes, man. You're eating good.
I got into sprouts for a little while. They're superfood and they're easy to grow. So I went and I got all the seeds and did all the jars, and I slowly, over the course of about 3 weeks, poisoned my whole family.
Oh no.
So people started randomly throwing up with no other symptoms. Like my youngest just started like dry heaving and throwing up. And then the next day, one of my daughters got sick. So I poisoned my whole family doing sprouts. So I forsook it and never went back. But
okay, so note to self, don't do the jar way. I'll get the tray.
Well, I think you're supposed to not have them in the sunlight. And I think I had them out. Like they weren't in direct sunlight, but they were in the kitchen. And I think they got enough light. And also mung beans are notorious for mold, like going bad faster. So
yeah, mold was what I was thinking.
Yeah. I sprout lentils for my chickens because it's good greens for them in the winter and stuff. And I just started the chicken journey. So I live in a small town.
Okay.
So I'm allowed 8 and I have 9 because I'm a rebel.
Who's going to count?
But yeah, they're good. Well, I thought one was going to die. They didn't when I went to the store, that's all they had. And they didn't want to leave just one by itself. And the one had pasty butt real bad. So I thought it was going to die anyway. And they all lived. So I'm like, well, I guess if the city complains about it, I'll just eat one.
It had what now?
Pasty butt? Yeah, it's like when their poop kind of sticks to their butt and it gets built up and hard, and then they can't really poop past it. So you got to take a warm towel and kind of wipe it off real nice and slow forever. It's a great process. You can try it.
Real warm and slow. You put some music on. Yeah.
Yep.
That's funny.
Kind of like kids when they have their first couple poops after being born. You know, it's that nice, like super thick concrete black crap.
Meconium. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff.
That's funny.
But yeah, anyway, so that's not where I wanted to take the live chat.
Sorry about that. Yep. Back to business. Yep.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself for anybody who hasn't seen you Whiskey Tango one.
Okay. Well, when did I start my channel? I started my channel July 4th, actually. I am a middle-aged man. I'm a veteran. I've got 8 children. The joke that I tell is they're all mine, all on purpose, all from the same woman, not Catholic and not Mormon. Ages like 6 to 23, somewhere in there. I can't memorize all of them, but I get close every time. So it's a couple of them have moved out, and we homeschool and then we cycle them through. Here in Washington State, there's a program called Running Start where you can go to college for 2 years for free. And so we live not far from a school that we can kind of send them through. And that's been the plan since I retired. I retired out of the Air Force, and we moved here to kind of do that. But yeah, I was a body man by trade back in the day. So I was a auto body technician in the military. So I was kind of a welder and fabricator, and then glass work and upholstery, paint jobs. So I used to paint vehicles and do body work. And then I got into teaching as a military instructor. So I fell in love with that, and I just kind of threw all of my weight into that. So all of my education and the vast majority of my experience is in teaching, so facilitating to adults. And that's what I do now for a company here in the town where I live. So
cool.
Love it. Yeah.
I'll have to tell you a story offline because that's OPSEC. That's cool. So if you were to describe yourself, like, where are you coming in closer to, like the homestead style, the bushcrafty guy, like the super tactical run and gun dude with the pew pews, or are you like
none of the above?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my channel. So I had an Instagram page a while back, and I tried to do like really cool pictures of guns. And when I started thinking, I've wanted to do a YouTube channel for a long time, and I don't know where it was coming from, but I always felt this pressure to be like something that I wasn't, right? I felt like I had to wait until I was in the woods in kit to shoot a video, and then I could start my channel. Once my AR had the exact right paint job and all of the right accessories. And because of that, I just never did it. So over the course of the summer, God, who was it that guy Gribley? He did like an after action report on Hurricane Helene.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a photographer. He'd had a YouTube channel for a while, and that video kind of blew up. It's got like 250,000 views or something. Yeah. And he was just telling a story. Yeah. He was just telling a story. That video inspired me. And then I've been watching like Wrangler Star and back in the day, like Casey Neistat's stuff. So I started looking into it, and there's lots of videos out there now. Like, if you're 40, you have to start a YouTube channel now. And it's like, if you're 50, you must start a YouTube channel now. I watched all this like inspirational stuff and thought, just what the hell? So I just started making videos. But the tagline for my channel is that I call it the 68%. So on a bell curve, I had a theory that a lot of preppers out there were like I was, right? Living in the suburbs, I work in the city, got a white collar job, but I'm also into prepping as much as I can be. And I felt like there was a lot of other people out there in that same category, but I didn't see a lot of content kind of catering to that crowd. It was mostly tier 1, tactical operators, right? Which I wasn't. I'm not.
Super Special Forces did it for 60 years. You're only 30.
PRS, Grand Thumb, and all these guys, and what is it? Dirty Civilians. Like, there's plenty of that pressuring me to buy better guns. And then over here was like Dave Canterbury and Cole Cracker Bushcraft, and I know that stuff, and I know some of that stuff, and I know some of that stuff, but I still live in the suburbs. So when I started my channel, that was kind of my shtick right from the get-go, was on a bell curve, the standard deviation from the middle going one way, or one standard deviation left and one standard deviation right, 34 and 34. So the meaty part of the bell curve is 68%. So that's where I came up with that tagline is we're the 68 percenters. We're not those guys. We're not those guys. We're right in the middle, still trying to be preppers, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I kind of told you backstage, like kind of history on me. I'm like a super young prepper, kind of trying to breathe some new life into my mag, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of a hard journey to go on when people don't really understand it that way.
yeah.
I've taught some people that are older than me, and I've taken a lot of notes from people older than me as well. I like to hang out with like the 60, 70, 80-year-olds and take their knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's super cool that way. Well, let's see. You guys got any questions for him?
They're like, we thought this guy was a prepper. No question.
No, man. I think 80% of people are normal and want to put stuff back for the family. It's a type of insurance, right? And you know, you need to be able to run and gun. Like I've cut 100 pounds since I did this channel.
Wow,
and I'm trying to cut more. I actually blew another disc out working out with my plate carrier on and everything again. So yeah, so it's great. Pat, you got you're old, Pat, don't lie. You got a link, buddy. But I just started seeing all the prepper channels that I started watching that got me prepping.
Yeah.
Like more the gun side stuff and tactical gear and stuff like that. Like they're not doing prepping stuff anymore.
Yeah, it's just gun content.
Yeah. So we need the prepping stuff. We need some normal stuff. We need trying to get self-sufficient on, like, I live in town. I have a guerrilla garden in my backyard with a regular garden. My wife said no more taking over the yard for gardening, and I have 5 new pots I'm putting up next year she doesn't know about yet. So
how'd you do that?
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. I bought a bunch of lockers for like next to nothing, and I'm just going to turn them into raised beds. You know, I'm just going to pull the drawers out and lay them on their backs and drill some holes in them and set them on 4x4s.
That's smart. I like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't know yet?
No, she doesn't know yet. Well, I'm redoing the deck. I'm going to surround the deck saying that they're all flowers, but it's going to be a big herb garden. And then on one side, it's going to be all potatoes, and she just isn't going to know they're potatoes until I harvest them. So it's going to be good.
So you're putting them on the table? I love that.
Yeah. So she doesn't know. We'll find out.
She's getting a new deck out of it. She'll be happy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's fun. And it'll look nice and everything too. And it'll attract some pollinators. I'm going to do some more flowers. I tried doing a garden with no pesticides and herbicides and things like that. I did good bug gardening last year to see how hard it would be post SHTF, where you couldn't go buy your 7, your animal stopper and all that.
Yeah.
It worked out all right, but it's hard. And I bought like a bunch of praying mantises. I bought a bunch of ladybugs. I bought a bunch of nematodes. And my neighbor decided to do an Instagram garden right next to me. And his wife's like, oh, wow, look at our super nice garden. And I'm like, hey, don't kill my bugs. And they're like, what? I'm like, see my redneck garden that looks like shit compared to your really nice one? I'm like, let's do a little competition, see how much food I grow compared to you. And I put up almost 1,000 jars in the canner last year.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. This
so
year
when you say Instagram garden, you mean it looks pretty, but it doesn't produce any food?
Oh yeah, super nice cedar posts, lit lights everywhere. You know, the beautiful gate, the white rock pathways to walk on. And they got like 4 cucumbers and like a couple pieces of corn and some green beans. And I'm over here like 5-gallon bucket of green beans every 2 or 3 days. Like, you know. So yeah. That needs to happen, especially in my age group. It's non-existent in the 30s, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know where to go from there, but that's kind of the gap I seem to try and fill.
And what about the rest of you? Like, tell me a little bit about your channels. And so Tactical, your channel is more about like homesteading, gardening, and tactical stuff. Is that kind of, if you had to
yeah, I still do some armed security stuff on the side, but I like to run and gun, and I'm pretty big into hunting and butchering and stuff. So I do a lot of hunting stuff.
Nice.
And these guys just kind of chill with me.
Well, actually, I was gonna wait because I've already started the upload process, but I I got the YouTube channel up and running today.
Nice. You gonna start up?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna wait until I get a few more things on there. But basically, what the description is I decided I wanted to not put anything pew in it, not put it, because I wanted to try to actually go somewhere. So, it's gonna be budget minded, stay at home father, just trying to hedge against the uncertain times that we live in.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Don't swear in the first 2 minutes. Your live stream.
it's true.
And
But
we're at
don't
15.
mention Rumble because YouTube hates it.
Well, quit doing it.
Well, it's first 10 minutes. We're good.
Is that the way it works? Really?
Yeah, they don't like you to say. Even though I mostly stream on Rumble, that's where I get like all my cool stuff and I have like music and stuff on there. But it's okay.
Music.
I got 2 different songs. But I'm not super into it. I put no production value in my channel. I don't edit anything. It's just raw and cut. If you don't like it, then get over it. There's other shit to watch.
Yeah.
Why have I never heard you sing?
Yes, you have.
This is a debut.
No, it's an AI, but
That's something that I noticed too that encouraged me to start was that high polish, high production seemed to be, it wasn't cool anymore. It was going out of favor. So the stars seemed to align a little bit, the kind of high level. I was never going to do that. If I had to edit and do cuts and all that crap, I wouldn't be able to produce the volume that I produce, or I wouldn't find it fun. I don't find editing I don't enjoy it. So I'll do one take. Sometimes I'll do camera changes like for cuts, but they're all in sequence. I don't edit, I don't filter, I don't do any of that crap. So nothing in post.
love it.
Shoot it and post it.
Yeah, man, you got a lot of kids to keep you busy. You don't got time to be messing with that.
I don't. I'll get out here. I'll maybe get 3 hours out here in the garage, and I have to shoot like 4 videos. I'm like, I don't have time to do all that other crap. So,
Right. Oh, we got a wild Pat Riot. So these are usually my 3 homies I have on here, and sometimes I'll float in a 4th or a 5th.
I saw Pat Riot. I like that Pat Riot.
Oh, he got it. He got it.
I did.
That's only this. You're only the second person ever to actually
Really?
get it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to tell all of us we're dumb.
You didn't have to tell me. Just already had been introduced as Pat, so that's what I went with.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
that's good. We got to get Grit and Grace on here. She has a really good homestead.
So do you guys hang out? Are you kind of in the general same area that you can hang out together?
Not even remotely.
No? Okay.
Pat makes me cheesesteaks.
What? Sick.
Justin B, he's kind of close to me. He's in Jersey. Like, that's driving distance.
He's in Florida.
No, I'm not. I'm in Florida.
That's
Oh.
Fiend Dog you're thinking of.
Yeah, Fiend
Oh.
Dog's near you.
He's like really close.
And he's gone fishing.
You're right.
Well, I also drive truck for a living, so Florida isn't that far from me.
Yeah, not on your route. Yeah.
I'm gonna meet up with Lawfully one of these days in Missouri Survival when I go to Branson. My family likes going out there, so
I drive past Lawfully twice a week.
that's what it gets. But, all right, well, let's run through some questions I have jotted down here. I like to kind of do a little pre-run through on some stuff and kind of pick your brain on a couple different things.
Pepper me with questions. Is this the litmus test? This is where you guys cut me off if I.
Yeah, you better get your lie detector on. Let's measure your heartbeat. Let's get EKG of standard operation. We're going to go from there.
Step on your thumbtack.
Have you ever? Yeah. All right, go ahead, shoot.
All right, so tactical guys, prepper dudes. What's your EDC? What's it look like every single day you got to have on you?
Don't show it.
Yeah.
don't show it.
Me, I'm answering.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a P365.
Oh, we can't be friends.
That's it. That's the first question.
Fell.
P365. This is going to probably make it worse, but I carried a full-size XD for a while. But once I switched to the smaller pistol, I never went back. I carry it in an alien gear inside the waistband. I carry small of back.
Ooh.
Oh God.
I haven't put that on the internet yet, so that's a
Oh, we need an EDC video on you. That's your next video. Write it down.
yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, I heard so many stories, and people are like, "Oh, you're gonna die. You're gonna break your spine." And I was like, I've never. I hear that, but I've never actually heard of a story of somebody falling. And then like 2 weeks later, I slipped on the ice and fell flat on my back.
Oh no!
You know what happened? Nothing.
You didn't land on the gun?
No, I did. Flat, right on my spine, and nothing happened.
Oh, geez.
So that's it, right? Once you get struck by lightning, you never get struck again. So
you're good to go.
Figure I'm squared away.
You must have enough glutes to like cushion the impact.
I think that like the fitness level of the individual who falls probably has something to do with it. But
I don't know. I have a really flat ass. I don't think it matters if I fall on my back or not. So
well, you've already got a bad back, so it doesn't really
that's
matter.
true. My back's already schwacked. It don't matter.
This is
Saying there's correlation.
like an Amazon a Firebird Gonzo, some knockoffs like $25.
All right.
H 922. Love these things. They're so fidgety. It's just a flipper.
Mm-hmm.
Not super tactical. Love that thing. On my waistband, I carry. This is a guy in Canada makes these Skinth Solutions. He makes these little pouches of varying sizes for your EDC gear. So I've got a Streamlight micro stream in there, rechargeable. Leatherman Wave. It's like 20 years old. And then some fingernail clippers. Because I do a lot of work with my hands. Like I do a lot of teaching with my hands. So if my hands are nasty, it counts against me.
Same.
It's a, what is that? G-Shock D350, I think is what it's called. Love that watch. Paracord bracelet. Writing notebook for notes.
The beard comb. Nice.
Beard comb. Yep. How do I look? Does it look all right?
Looking beautiful, man.
Okay, thank you. So, notebook, pen, wallet. In the wallet, I do have a piece of silver and a piece of copper.
Yeah.
I carry those. Like I tell myself, you know, when SHTF happens instantly, I'll be able to buy my way out of it. But yeah, probably not. And then, in the wallet too, I've got a set of picks that I use pretty regularly.
Damn.
Bogotas, and then some rakes there, and then a couple bypass keys for padlocks.
Is that when the students lock you out, or
Any legal concerns in the state of Washington?
So what they say is that what they have to demonstrate is intent. So you basically have to be in the middle of committing a crime with those tools to be charged with having those tools. Otherwise, if the two aren't connected, then there's no crime being committed. So I've used them quite a bit to break into offices, carry a break-in kit for vehicles too. I do that an unusually high number of times. I have a son who constantly locks himself out. I did it like 3 times in a month over the summer. But then a key fob for my keys. I also have some extra pick sets on there too. This one's for commercial. So my wife has a business that sometimes she locks herself out of, and whenever that situation arises, I get to practice using those. So yeah, I think that's it.
I dig it. What belt?
It's an old rigger's belt. It's way too much, but I've never used it to rig or rappel or anything. It's just some old Blackhawk. I've had this thing for probably 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wear it wrong. I don't use the right kind of, I don't loop it through the thing. I just lap it over, but it's kind of my go-to belt.
Okay.
All ghetto, all cheap, all common. What about
You
you
can
guys?
maim several individuals with that belt buckle.
Yeah, that's true, right? Use it as a weapon. All right, what else? That's my whole EDC, I think.
How about your underwear? No. I go down to EDC, so in my Discord, I always put an underwear symbol because I wear Duluth Buck naked underwear. I was an HVAC tech, plumber, electrician, and I don't know if you've ever had swamp ass and your nuts sticking to your thighs all the time, but
I know the underwear you're talking about, and those look amazing. I haven't brought myself to buy any because they're so expensive. But.
Well, right now they're on sale for like under 17 muffins. They're normally 35. That's all I wear, and I'm a big fat dude, and I don't have swamp nuts no more. So
because it has a separate compartment for your boys, right?
It does, and they wick moisture amazingly well, so I would 100% recommend it. As being a big 400-pound dude down to a 300-pound dude, I still don't have my nuts stick to my thighs anymore, so we're good to go.
It's also a good place for Muffin Top to put his sock full of colloidal silver.
This is true, so that way it looks like I'm actually packing something, and I have some monetary value on me.
Oh shoot, that's funny.
Awesome.
I'm about to tell you my underwear. I don't know. Whatever my wife buys me, man, it's just Hanes. I wear them until they get holes, and then I buy some more. Or she buys me more when they have holes.
Santa comes to town.
Yeah, exactly. Every Christmas.
Good. All right. Well, if you get the chance, go ahead. You could probably reach out to them. They'll probably send you something because you're cool.
Oh, yeah. Like get sponsored by Duluth. Do I have to do a video on them, though?
Yeah. You guys, why would you not? You're getting the free underwear that makes your boys so happy. You know, you bend over, make sure they don't show any crack. For me, my crack goes to my shoulder blades. They're definitely getting cracked. So,
you know who? Oh shoot, he's a former Marine Raider. He has a red beard. He put out some videos a couple of years ago. God, I can't remember the channel. Is he related to Spiritus Systems, maybe, or something? I don't know. Anyway, this guy, he did a video on a medical fanny pack, like a nut ruck, he called it.
Yeah.
And I decided to start doing that, and I wore a nut ruck, and it had enough stuff in it that it just put enough pressure on my boys and my junk to push them back. And then I was helping manage a track meet one day in the blistering heat, and over the course of that day, I got chafed so bad that I was in bed for like 2 days after that. It was the most miserable time I've ever had. So I don't take chafing lightly. I'm taking your underwear suggestion very seriously. So
yeah, I have experienced the chafe, believe me.
Oh my gosh. It'll take you out, man. I mean, you'll be out of commission.
No, I just had to keep working another 80 hours. I had to keep going. Yeah, I just had to get over
it. They make a product that's like half chapstick, half deodorant. Like it comes in like a short bar.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and it's for that. Yeah, like you could rub it on the back of your sack or inside your thighs, whatever. It keeps you from chafing.
This is a great chat. I love this.
I don't know.
I mean, you went there.
I've been wearing sheath for the last several years out here in the Florida nastiness, and it's been working pretty. It's been keeping the chafe away.
Yeah, I wore the Duluth Armachillos in Florida, and they worked fantastic. They have like a cooling technology built into them. They work great.
I used a kind of a ghetto mix from having so many kids, but Desitin, like the stuff you put on a baby's butt when he gets, a rash or whatever. So half Desitin, well, about a third Desitin, a third Vaseline. And then there's also this Lancinol. It's a little purple gel that women put on their nipples when they get chafed from breastfeeding. So those two things, or those three things combined, that's a good mix. That makes a really good salve, and it works really, really quickly. So
I like the menthol foot powder, so you get the tingle on your boys.
get some cooling effect.
It's all good till it's bad.
It works, man. I'm telling you. When you're up on a rooftop and it's 110 degrees and that sun's beating down on you, you don't care. Just saying.
Pat, let's start our own underwear company. We'll watch Quiver. You can 3D print them.
Just don't listen to the old guys tell you about Blue Star ointment. They'll tell you to put Blue Star ointment on when you start chafing. I don't know if you've ever used that before, but no. Might as well be.
Dope.
No, it's I don't even know what the hell it's for, but do not put it on chafed red skin. It will burn. It will burn a lot.
I don't know what it's for, but it's not for that.
You will scream and you will cry, and then you will jump in the shower to try and wash it off, and that will make it twice as bad.
It's like sounds like some sort of snake oil from the 20s, like a pomade. Put it on your hair, on your bread, on your balls.
Yeah. If you put it on your member, it gets 3 inches longer, they promise. I've been told to ask you what your favorite compass is. Seen that a couple times in the chat.
Sons of mothers, yeah. I'm anti-compass. So you guys want to hear the story behind the compass?
Let's do it.
So the very first video I put out, I was trying to get clicks and piss people off. So I said, here's the things that you shouldn't put in your bug out bag or your get home bag. And it was like all the stuff you should, right? It was like boots, a cook kit, and a compass. And so And my logic was, so I live in the suburbs, I work in the city. It's like 15, 20 miles from where I work, right? There's no woods in between where I work and where I live. I never accidentally end up in the woods. And I think something like 83% of the population live in or near urban centers. So I think most people don't need to have a compass. And I got so much crap and hate for that. It was a modern refugee. We're cool now. Me and him, we talk a little bit, but early on, he made a video, like a response in his live, and he was like, "Don't listen to idiots telling you don't need a compass."
I feel like if you live in your area of operation, you know how to get home, right?
Yeah. So, and people, what people would say was like, "Well, you need to know the cardinal directions." Like, okay, but I have roads. And then they're like, "What if it's snowing, and you get pepper sprayed, and there's a dust storm, and it's nighttime? Then what do you get?" Well, you know what? I'm probably dead anyway. Like what?
You're gonna lay on the ground and cry.
Yeah, I'm not walking anywhere. Where am I gonna walk if there's a whiteout? So
You'll find somewhere to cuddle up.
So what I did was, when people started getting pissed, I doubled down, and then I tripled down, and then I quadrupled down. So now I'm the anti-compass guy. So whenever somebody offers me a compass, I tell them I will never consider that. That's just always my blanket response. I keep all my compasses on hanging on a wind chime here. So and people send me compasses, and I add them to the wind chime, and they just kind of hang there.
I love that. Did you get a pistol for Yukon Cornelius over there yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, you need to get him strapped.
Yeah,
and make it a Glock, like a real man.
Yeah, Glock.
Well, you've given me an idea for my channel. I'm gonna make an anti-night vision video, and I'm gonna double, triple, quadruple down on you never ever need night vision. And then when people start sending me night vision,
then you'll flip.
Then maybe I'll flip.
Yeah, send me one of them wind chimes, would you, Pat?
People have sent me messages from the American Compass Association of America, like making up these long diatribes of how I'm ruining lives and putting people at risk, and it's completely out of control. But I will not relent. Like now, I will never ever carry a compass. I'll get lost in the woods and die before I carry a compass now, just to spite people. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Listen here, Gnostic Nomad. I like my fucking thermal monocle. Thank you very much. I use the crap out of it to schwack coyotes and coons and things.
I think he's going along the same lines as I am.
Yeah, he's trying to get some thermal. I love it. Yeah. So I don't post that stuff on YouTube because I don't feel like getting in trouble with local game wardens.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah,
I don't.
Doing the Lord's work. That's all that needs known.
I wouldn't think that you would, as long as you didn't put a road sign in the.
Yeah.
I don't think your local game warden cares enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't need it on video anyway. So
okay.
All we know is things are getting schwacked, and they're no longer needed where they're getting schwacked at. So.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah. What are you talking? It's fine. So how can we talk you out of that and into a Glock?
Out of what?
Out of your SIG.
My little. Well, I'm cheap, man. Like once I committed to a platform, I just kind of stuck with it, and yeah, the thought of repurchasing all new pistols and new holsters, and once you commit to something, it's kind of like, and I've never had a failure. I'm proficient with it. I enjoy shooting it. I've never had a failure. I try to be more pragmatic. Like I tried to go to a red dot for a while on my primary, and I could never. I've been on iron sights for so many years that I kept kind of fishing for the dot, and I did it for about a year, and I was like, this is stupid. Like I'm going to get killed or hurt trying to use this as a primary self-defense pistol, So I went back to iron sights. So
I'm just picking on you. So kind of my mag deal. So we standardized equipment because we had people running 1911, Beretta 92s, and Glocks and Smiths and revolvers, and not everybody knew how to shoot everything. When you give it to grandma and she can't run a 1911, it's useless, right?
Yeah.
So we standardized on one platform. We have some some security and some police in our midst, and we obviously have more training. I was in security at the time, and I was getting a couple thousand rounds a year to blow through my Glock to stay qualified, so that was sweet.
Yeah.
So obviously we were more proficient with that, and obviously police are pretty much Glock everywhere, except for now they're kind of switching to Walther PDP, and they got off the SIG and whatever. So for your family, do they all think the same mindset, or you guys? I mean, it's a secondary, obviously, but like, is that like a thing that you've thought of?
Yeah. So, well, when you say family, it's just me, my wife, and my kids. We're geographically separated from the rest of our family, so we started over. That's why we had so many kids.
Nice.
Our families kind of suck, so
Nice.
we started fresh. So, but yes, so me and my wife, we standardize platform. It's funny you say that. I just shot a video yesterday. It's going to post, I want to say Wednesday, but I talk about standardizing platforms. So our full size pistols and our subs are all standardized. So magazines, holsters, all that stuff is interchangeable, and parts and accessories and all that. So for us, this is what worked well. Yeah. So
Light, no light.
no, I don't run a light.
Okay.
I don't. Most of my scenarios again are mostly lit. So even in my house, even with my house setup, I run a separate flashlight. So
Okay. I run a separate flashlight and a duty light, but that's just because in security, 80% can be handled with a flashlight, and you don't want to be pointing your gun at somebody. Yeah, and most of the time in security, you're working at night, so you need to be able to identify your target. So I'm light all the time. So actually, I just never got off of that.
Yeah, I put out a video early on myself. I think it's one of my most popular videos. It's a home defense sling. It's like a little sling that I rigged up, and I carry a pistol. And enough people that I respected got in the comments and talked to me about a light that I think I did put a light on that pistol. So there is a light on it and a secondary too. So
nice.
I ended up going that way based on the comments and interaction online.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are you guys AK people or AR people?
AR.
Nice. You're the right.
Just because we were military, and that's the platform that, she's familiar with and I'm familiar with, and now some of my kids are familiar with. So, yeah.
Well, in defense of your chosen 365, Buffalo Top needs to remember you live in a state with mag cap restrictions.
We do. Yeah. So anything you had prior to the ban got grandfathered in, but now the only thing that you can get are 10-round mags. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I understand that. I did shoot a 365 and an XL, and I almost picked up both. The out of the box, great trigger. I like their sights. The two things I change on my Glocks.
I was shocked. Like, first time I shot a 365, like the size and the weight and the way it shot, it just shot like a much bigger gun. And I was sold pretty quickly on that as a primary carry. So, yeah.
Yeah, nothing against it. We just got to bust everybody's balls about the pews, right?
For sure. No worries.
You
can send me a free one. That's how you can talk me into a Glock. You can send me a free one.
Well,
I'm suddenly a Glock guy.
If I could get that to happen, I'd be.
Right,
yeah. Anybody else want to throw in anything?
Any jabs?
Yeah, 2 cents. Pat's went through the revolution on firearms lately, and may have some insight.
The revolution.
Yeah, I was carrying the X macro for a good long time, and I just kept going back to the Glock because that's what I've done all my dry fire training on. Yeah. So I have that muscle memory for that Glock angle, and every time I would present my SIG, I would be, what is it? Low or high? I can't remember.
I think high.
Yeah, I think high. Every time I would present, I was high. I just couldn't. I didn't have the ability or the want, I guess, to relearn it all. So I went back to Glock.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. Like I said, I have over 20 years on iron sights, and there's no way I'm going to put in that many reps on a red dot to get it didn't make sense for me. I can get on target every time, very instinctually, very quickly with iron sights, and that's what works. So
did you ever try with a dot on your pistol, have you ever tried drawing with your eyes closed and then opening your eyes?
I did
Because
try that a little bit. Yeah.
because if you're like dead on with your iron sights, that
Yeah.
dot should already be in the right place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I am in the transition to full dot. I am 100% dot now. I took a year. I actually bought a dagger because it was the cheapest platform at the time to run a dot, and I bought a cheaper dot. And I shot a gardener snake, a little 2-foot gardener snake. I shot its head off at 10 yards, and my son's picking it up and tried to take it in the house and show mom and grandma, and they were not thrilled. So that's roughly a dime-sized target with a cheap dot and a cheap pistol, and I was pretty impressed with it. So for
Nice.
me, the distance that I can shoot with a dot consecutively and consistently, I'm at 50 yards taking headshots.
Yeah. Nice.
So if if I get a good stance and I can get good breath in and do it, but in self-defense scenario, that's not a distance you want to be firing.
Anyway, right? Yeah.
Right. It's a at the farm defense. If that's what I have on my hip when I'm pulling weeds, I want to be able to make a good shot with it. Yeah. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't think about. They're like, oh, in SHTF, I'm going to be in full kit, wearing my plate carrier and stuff all the time. I'm like, no, you're not, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I'm like, how are you going to carry 2 5-gallon buckets of water from the river over?
Yeah. Try gardening in a plate carrier. See how that goes.
That's what I say. I'm like, I'm going to be pulling weeds and shit, like at most battle belt, and I'll have like my AR hung up by the freaking shed or the shovel or something that I'm not
Right.
using. So, anyway, I think beat that enough. So I have a Golden 5 set of firearms that I like to discuss with people. And
I've heard that. I'm curious what the Golden 5 are.
So the Golden 5 for me are a 10-22 because it's very utilitarian, especially on the farm. You can shoot ground squirrels with it. You can shoot a turkey with it if you're good, whatever. You can kill a deer with it if you had to. But for pest removal, varmints, a 5-year-old can run it. A 95-year-old can run it from the porch, right? So you can get some suppressive fire with a 22. A 10-22 is super reliable. You can get 25 rounders for it and make anybody effective enough. Yeah. And you can stack a lot of ammo for it. A shotgun for me, I put a lot of birds in the freezer with it. It puts a lot of meat in my family's tummies, and you can do a lot of different loads with it. I don't deer hunt here because I'm in Nebraska. We have giant plains, so it's not smart. But buckshot is a formidable thing.
Yeah.
Your EDC, it's your dagger that you can carry, and if you don't have a dagger, you sell your cloak to buy one, right? It says in the Bible. So that's what you have on you every single day. So whatever you choose your flavor of EDC. And then I do a bolt gun because I'm in Nebraska and hunting, and that puts a lot of meat in my freezer. My family typically pulls in and cuts up 20 deer a year that are ours between all the seasons, and then we process 10 to 20 deer for other people and get a little side cash that way. So that's kind of our shtick in SHTF. We're the butchers because you're going to need that, and then we traditionally smoke stuff, and so we know how to preserve it.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. And then anti-tyrannical for you need a box-fed semi-automatic weapon at minimum, and for us it's the AR-15 because it's America's rifle. So.
Right. Are you asking my opinion on your Golden 5, or are you just telling me that's what I'm supposed to have?
That's my Golden 5, and because each tool has a role, and I have said in urban scenarios you could swap the shotgun or the bolt gun for maybe a PCC if it fits your thing better, and or they're not necessarily needed for all, but I think if one family has those Golden 5, you can point a barrel north, south, east, west, and you'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have a hot take on that or what you think is required.
I followed when I started getting into firearms. I got yes, I agree. All of the above, with the exception of a 10-22 specifically. So I have a lever action that I used to kind of train the kids, and then I've got a conversion kit for ARs to get them familiar with that platform. But I remember my dad was a felon, so he couldn't own firearms. He was a felon in California also, but he did own firearms, and he had an AR. It was a Colt. I remember it very clearly. And we also had I want to say it was a Henry octagon barrel pump action 22. God, loved that thing. So I am looking into probably getting one of those just for nostalgia's sake. But I like the idea of a 1022, and I know that the aftermarket for those is very, very broad. So I like that idea. But yeah, I recently kind of consolidated my platforms for pistols, platforms for rifles. I had a bolt gun that was a 223, and I hated kind of separating my ammo out, so I consolidated calibers, platforms, just for ease of tracking and storage and all that. And but yes, I agree with that. Those are the five calibers. So 22, 9 mil, 5.56, and 308, and then shotgun. So shotgun, I'll kind of stack bird and double lot as well. So yeah,
Love it. The big problem with the prepping community is they're like, oh man, I'm going to have 100 guns, then hand them out. Like, okay, I'm not handing out a gun to anybody.
right. Yeah,
I do numbers of like 4 and 10. If you have 10 families and they all have the golden 5, you're good on guns. You focus your money elsewhere.
yeah.
You can buy food, you can buy solar generators, you can buy farm equipment, whatever. Like, you know.
Yeah, when I started, I have a gunsmithing certificate. I don't do gunsmithing. I don't have an FFL, so I legally can't work on people's rifles, or their firearms. But I do it for maintenance and repair for myself. But I pretty much built any AR that I've got. I built that with the exception of I didn't build all of my AR-10s. But AR-15s, I built all of them from an 80%, not an 80%, but a completed lower, and then built them up. So I know enough to maintain and repair my own weapon systems, so.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to hop in on that?
I like to build my ARs off of things that I find for ridiculously cheap during sales.
Yeah.
I love that. Save your money so you can spend it wisely further down the prepping hole.
Yep.
Spend it unwisely somewhere else.
Well, I mean, if you have families, you have a set budget, and usually my prepping budget is the last thing that I can blow money on. So I do all my side work is for me and whatever I decide to either invest in the family or like I'm currently trying to buy another house for a rental. So that's kind of my
There you go.
my
Nice.
deal. Yeah, my son's 4. He's about to have his name on a house, so it's awesome. Because I foresee a point when you can't purchase homes and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it now.
That's right.
I'll suffer through it, and I'll do side gigs, and I'll work on it, and he'll be happy.
Hand him the keys at 18.
Well, yeah, or he could just use it for a revenue stream while he's going to college or whatever he wants to do.
Yep.
I would push back slightly on putting your son's name on the property. I would start an LLC called 123 Main Street, whatever the address of the property is.
Yeah, it'll be a trust.
Okay.
Yeah. But regardless, like, having him kind of set up so he can have something is kind of the game plan for that. But anyway, back to the topic at hand of the Golden 5. Anybody have anything to throw in on that? Problem with you is you have more than 5 in your household.
I'm good to go.
Okay. So. All right. It's cool to have more, but we get to the people that just end up buying a new pew every month, and then not enough ammo or not enough mags, not enough holsters, whatever.
Right.
It's not effective.
Yeah, when COVID happened, I was into prepping a long time ago, and I kind of quit. It was kind of exhausting, and I just got tired of it. And when COVID hit, I kind of ramped everything. I had all that knowledge built up, so I ramped everything back up. And I spent the first year focusing on like food and water, and then the second year on security. And I'm glad I did, because just after that, all the laws in my state changed, and now you can't get that stuff anymore. So yeah. I was pretty blessed that I, kind of saw that coming and then did what needed to be done. But
right. Hey, Patriot, I think we're kind of full tonight, bro. Maybe next time. So food plan, what is your absolute bare minimum that you think that you need to have on hand for you and yours? Do you have a month, a year limit? Do you have
Yeah.
weeks?
So for me, I followed Barrett Independence, calculus of 3,300 calories for a military male. So for me, that math works out to like 7,500 pounds of food for a year. So when I first got into buckets, dried food in buckets, that was what I was shooting for. I'm not at a year. I'm probably at 6 months of long-term, not happy, not thriving. It's not good food, but it's keep you alive food.
Mm-hmm.
And our pantry, I shoot for like a 3-month pantry. So, and then we do deep freezers as well. But I'd like to get more into harvesting meat. I'm a failed hunter. My wife has taken over the garden and she's done much better than I did, but I'm a failed hunter. I go out every year and we call it bow hiking. We just walk around the woods with a bow. I've never seen or heard an elk. I don't know if they even exist, really.
Yeah, spot and stock, let alone an elk with a bow. Spot and stock with a bow is hard unless you have enough private land to keep other people out. And
I don't. So, what's your advice? Give me some tips, man.
Well, I have a very large chunk of family land, and I hunt with a bolt gun, so it's very different for me. To be honest, we have a herd that we prune and we protect, and we take out coyotes, and we put up food plots permanently for them, and we dig cattle ponds that they use for their cattle and the deer. So like my entire life since I was 5 years old, I've been pruning and making a healthy herd and giving them good food sources in the winter and taking out predators and whatnot for them. So I have a good 300 deer that we've kind of just helped along, and we take crappy bucks out of the gene pool, and we don't mind shooting does. We don't shoot wet does, and we don't shoot fawns. But we shoot anything that tries to eat them. And if they have like a draw or something that gets washed out, or we had a fire go through a couple of years ago, so we got some stuff to regrow in certain areas. Food plots, we have 4-season food plots for them because winter here gets tough. Turnips are like the best thing. They'll eat the tops in the spring, and then in the winter they'll dig them up when they can't get anything. I mean, we've had some starve. They'll eat the bark off the trees, and then they're pretty much toast. So
yeah.
We grow milo, we grow oats for them, and we kind of let it be, and then they get hay from pastures and things like that where you just can't agriculturally farm, and we'll throw like sunflowers and stuff for our pheasants to keep hot cover for them, and then they can eat the sunflower seeds, and then they just keep regrowing and building bigger thickets and good cover. And all the farmers rip out the plum thickets. If we know a farmer going to rip out plum thickets, we'll go dig them up and plant them, try to transplant them somewhere else because it's really good cover. For deer, because some of our plum thickets I can walk under. They're like 10 foot tall. You wouldn't be able to see the deer unless you walk in them. But that gives them a fruit source too. So, and it's good cover from hawks and predators and whatnot. And poachers, we get poachers out there. So
you guys are on it.
Yeah, but multi-generations of protecting / helping the herd, and I'm slowly losing ground out there. As soon as more family members get elderly and die, and I can't afford to buy their land, I'll slowly lose my herd that I've been pruning my entire life. So,
oh my gosh,
it's whatever. Hopefully I can get out there enough with my son so he can learn all the hard work we did and check it out. And as soon as I lose that, I have some other ground I've been starting to work on this YouTube channel. I got some closer ground that is on the river. It's whitetail only. We've been predator hunting it and setting up food plots and stuff and building tree stands and dun. But yeah, it's already thinking about selling because everybody comes in and peppers in with, hey, will you take this much for it? Will you take this much? So eventually that'll go.
So eventually they'll sell? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Out where I hunt, lawyers buy it up. Hospitals buy it up. It's just a tax write-off. Place to put your money that's secure. Land doesn't do anything but increase in value, so they don't lose money that way.
It sounds like
we had a lawyer buy up 10 miles of this draw that our deer herd lives in, and they went in and took all the trees out, all the cover out, and then put up these really expensive tri-stands to hunt from and wondered why they didn't have any deer. I'm like, dude, I could drive by this road and there would be 50 does sitting here and catching the afternoon sun before nightfall fell, and you ripped all their cover out.
So no understanding of the land or the ecology or deer behavior or.
Yep, they ruin the ecosystem. So that is what it is. So it's a little bit different for me to tell you how to go hunt. Long story.
What is a wet doe?
It's a doe that had like a fawn that year, and she'll have milk. So if you shoot a doe and you go to gut her and she has milk, she's a wet doe. If she's a dry doe, she won't have a fawn with her. So it's usually muleys. I have a mix between whitetails and muleys where I hunt, and muley doe, they'll usually do a fawn every other year, and I like to think they're like white people. And then I think like the whitetails are kind of like Mohicans. They'll usually only have one. And the whitetails, they'll run around and they'll have one or two every year. So I like to think of them as a different shade, but that's just kind of how they birth.
More kids.
Yeah.
So did you get all that, Pat? Those are the ones that don't have powdered milk.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll shoot a big dry doe, no problem, because they're usually pretty good eating. So.
Well, I'm a wannabe hunter, and from the research I've done, you just kind of you got to go with the basic necessities of the animal that you're hunting. It's got to eat, it's got to drink, and it's got to sleep. So if you can figure out where they're sleeping, go hunt there. If you can figure out where they're eating, go hunt there. And if you can figure out, the transition between them, you could set up and try and hunt there as well.
Yeah, but if you see a doe with a fawn and you shoot the mom, the fawn's going to get eaten by coyotes that winter, or bobcats or mountain lions. Like, it's going to get held up. It won't be able to take care of itself. Winters, if they're a hard winter and they don't put on enough fat, they got to cuddle with mom to stay warm, So we try not to do that.
Bambi's dad, not Bambi's mom.
Right. Yeah.
I can deer hunt off my front porch. They're in my yard every single day.
Well, get a can and you're good to go, or bow. It might be frowned upon, but they'll get over it. You're free.
Get a bow fishing rig.
A bow fishing rig for a deer.
Right. You don't even have to trail them. You just wind them up, reel them in.
I would recommend trying firearm. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to spot and stock.
There's a lot of houses super close to me, so like bow or crossbow would be best. But
even better, bow fishing rig.
I was about to say, everybody laughed, but that sounds like a really good idea. Because my biggest concern is like if the animal doesn't go down quick enough. Like, there's 14 different landowners around here. I can't really go like make friends with all of them. Be like, hey, I shot a deer, it ran into your property. Can I go look?
I don't know any. Well, I do know one person that won't let you go hunt a cripple or whatever. Most people don't want a carcass laying out in their field. It's just going to attract predators.
Right.
People are very understanding. Is like, okay, a cripple or a wounded deer, like, go in and go get it out. If they're going to be a real dick about it, they'll go with you. But
Well, more importantly, if you pull a sand lot and like you miss and your arrow goes to somebody else's yard, you don't have to like go jump the fence and like race the beast. You just reel your arrow back in.
Yeah. I mean, everybody laughed, but why aren't people doing that?
Because those bow fishing arrows are made of like fiberglass and they're heavy.
Well, I'm not saying you have to use a bow fishing arrow. Like, why not just have a tether, like a Kevlar freaking string tether to your arrow?
Some 200-pound test fishing line on a spool sitting next to you.
Well, first off, it's going to affect the flight of your arrow, right? Second off, I would assume somebody's invented some sort of game law for that. Like, you can't hunt with drones. You can't hunt with drones here, right?
You can't even look. You can't even.
Bambi's got way more tug than flounder.
Yeah, and you should probably just be proficient enough with the bow if you're going to take them with a bow to not be retarded. Just saying.
Pennsylvania are assholes. You can't even look for your deer with a drone here.
Yeah,
you can look for it, but if you find it with the drone, you're not allowed to go get it.
Yeah, you can't do that here either.
That's
That doesn't make
dumb.
no fucking sense.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Dude, all right, here's the deal. On the other foot, some idiot's going to go out if they're loaded enough to have a thermal camera, and they're just going to track the deer herd, and then just get some dude on a CB or a bow fang and direct them towards said deer.
Yeah, I understand.
That's not ethical. That's not fair to the animal. They have no way to get out. It's like playing Call of Duty versus a freaking predator drone. Like, they have no chance.
Yeah, but once the animal's been hit and it's down, there should be, I don't know.
Well,
It's almost like
the
it's almost like the kindergarten. I'm tired of being treated like a kindergartner. Like,
all right, Kevlar arrow.
because
AC-130.
Because little Johnny can't stop drawing on the wall. Nobody can have markers. Everyone's got to use a crayon.
Yeah.
And because Sally likes to go to the bathroom every 15 seconds, you're only allowed to use the bathroom once a day.
Anyway, I would recommend if you're going to bow, maybe try turkey.
No, I'm just gonna switch to a rifle, man.
Yeah.
Go later in the season.
Yeah.
Turkey is kind of the only thing that I saw even worth it down here.
I like turkey. It's good.
Those Osceolas sure are pretty.
It tastes good.
Blue feathered turkey.
It tastes good. That's what I want. Is the Osceola.
So on another note, I know we talked about it backstage a little bit. I don't know, obviously, if you don't want to answer OPSEC, if you have like kids young enough to be in like diapers and whatnot. But what does your bug in look like to meet your plethora of ages in the household? Some may be school age where they need to do some learning. Some may need some entertainment like board games, blah, blah, blah. If you had to bug in for an extended stay, what are some necessities that you feel you have to have for a bug in for your family there, Mike?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think so. We probably the area where we are most prepared. So we already, I say we, it's my wife. She homeschools. So we already have like curriculum for all the ages, you know what I mean? All the way up, all the way down. So that's probably where we're most prepared. And I love that because a lot of people don't think about that. You know, they don't think about schooling like once, if it's for any extended period of time, like what are you going to do? What are we going to, you know, does learning just stop? Does it continue? So
I agree. It's a very undervalued thing.
Yeah. I should probably do a video on that. Like nobody really talks about that. I'll give you full credit if I do, but yeah. So we've helped a lot of other families kind of get started with homeschooling as well, the curriculum. And we have like a commercial size copier that sits in our dining room that we use to copy curriculum and do all that stuff. And then we live in a suburban neighborhood. I think, you know, we've got all the stuff. We've got stuff for warmth. We've got food to last us. I think the biggest challenge for us in bugging in is I feel like the neighborhood is they're not of the same mindset. I remember shortly after COVID, the day that the lockdowns happened, I got on Facebook and I was like, okay, let's all list all of the skills and, that we have and this and this. And it was crickets. You know, I was like ready to start a mag that day. And everybody in the neighborhood was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not, it's nothing. So I think the biggest challenge for me is that I'm surrounded by people and I don't necessarily automatically trust, you know. I mean, I know my neighbors, but to what level and to what depth they would be, you could trust them or you could count on them. And I don't know.
So you would fear that the security is lacking because eventually you have to sleep. And do you guys have like a tiered system for, hey, you're up from this hour to this hour? Like your
yeah,
kids?
I mean, I've got enough of my kids are old enough that we could, you know, we've talked about that and we have a little bit of a plan in place for things like that. But It's everybody around us. So I'm part of me starting a channel is working towards a bug out location. I'm not big on bugging out if you've got nowhere to go. I've done videos on that, and I currently don't have anywhere to go. So
Right. I was telling you bug out location 1. I'm currently at bug out location 4 at my house. So
Yeah.
not my first. It's not even in my top 3 if I have to bug out. But that's a huge thing. And part of the thing I've really been preaching this year is community. So if you know you have a nurse in your cul-de-sac or a skill set, like you were saying, or you have a carpenter, plumber, whatever, or you can just have a gal who's really good at gardening, or maybe she can sew. That's another skill that's never talked about in prepping. You know how many times I've patched up my own jeans?
Yeah.
I rip my crotch out all the time in more work jeans, but I'm too stubborn headed to go buy new jeans if I'm just going to rip them up again, right? Like I'm going to keep wearing them until they fall off, and then people call the police on me because I'm indecent exposure, right?
I'm looking forward to him saying animal husbandry.
Yeah, animal husbandry. No, okay. I've been trying to get lawfully to do apartment prepping animal husbandry. You can do it with guinea pigs. You can do it with rabbits. You can do it with quail. You can do it with an aquarium.
Don't guinea pigs smell though?
I don't know. You can eat them. That's the main thing.
Are you talking about raising guinea pigs in an apartment to eat them?
Yes. Thank you for catching on so quickly.
Yeah,
But I love that every time he's like animal husbandry and he says it with such passion, you're like,
I'm sorry. You want the retarded deer, continuing your gene pool, with one color eye this, one color eye that, one upside down antler, and then
no, it's not a term that most people are used to.
Yeah.
Especially if they either
Like,
read a book
hang out
on it
with
or
people
grew up
that
on a
have
farm.
cattle.
So then it turns into
If
the
you have
jokes
a
like,
crap bull steer, you're not going to let that reproduce with all your cows that year to make all your calves. You're going to have the best bull do it all, right? You're going to have
I think
the king bull.
misunderstand. Everybody with a high school diploma understands bad genetics. But I mean, when you say animal husbandry,
Well, I'm not saying
people are
put on
picturing
like
you
some
like-
80s porn music and give them some shag carpet and a
Right.
bear rug in front of the fire and just
like
film it.
you're giving the goats a bad time.
Right. No, this isn't Middle East. I'm not talking about Velcro glove stuff. I'm just saying, put them in a pen, make them like each other, make sure they're not going to kill each other, and then maybe they'll make more to eat.
Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Like Family Guy when the elephant and the penguin get together, and he's like, "What is this?" He's like, "You didn't set any limits on reproduction." He's like, "Well, this is going overboard." Yeah, we can't be doing that.
But my girls can sew. We have the homeschooling covered. We right across the street. So I have a little bit of mechanic background. I've got some tools, so I can do basic maintenance and repair. We have a former SEER instructor who lives right in our area, very close, and his wife is a nurse. So they're a pretty useful couple to have around,
Yeah,
So
that's
you
a power
guys
couple.
should organize like a walk or maybe like a workout day, or like, hey, do a community garden or something, or just do a barbecue so your family's intermingled more.
Yeah, we are getting better connected. One of our neighbors actually just started raising ducks. They kind of just jumped on board all of a sudden after a couple of years. They got into water filtration and food dehydrating and got some ducks, and so they're pretty much completely sold. I don't know how it happened. I know they watched the channel, but
Nice.
yeah. So that's
That's
You
the
have to ask.
biggest thing. When you see a prepper, is how to go up and say, "Hey, I'm a prepper," without being. That's
Weird.
it's a super hard communication barrier to get over.
Yeah, without mentioning reptilians, and they're like, whoa, I don't.
That's one of the upsides to working a gun counter. You meet those people.
They come to you, huh?
It's like the gays recognizing each other.
Wait a minute. Is there something you want to tell us here, Love?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I have the worst gaydar. All the girls that I had crushes on when I was a kid all turned out to be lesbians.
Well, maybe you just turned them that way.
I'm talking celebrities, like celebrity crushes. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
They all turned out to be lesbians.
I I don't know what you mean, but I'll let you have
Did you
it.
say clarify for me, Pat? Did you say you did or didn't mean celebrities?
I did mean celebrities.
Oh,
You know,
that's
celebrity
unfortunate.
crushes. Alyssa Milano, you know, all that stuff. Anyway, I had a couple ideas on the
Ellen?
urban prepping, and
Yeah.
it just kind of hit me like lightning a while back on somebody else's chat, is to find a storage unit place that's outside of the crazy area, like right outside of your city, a couple miles.
Yeah.
And if you can afford the monthly hit, you store some of your preps there. And in a worst case scenario, if you had to leave your house, you know, fire, you know, one of those unnegotiables, then you could actually bug out to that location.
Yeah.
A lot of those are fenced in, and they have like barbed wire around them.
A lot of those
They're
RVs got septic tanks.
Yeah, there's RVs in there that you can use, and they're arranged in rows. You could use parked vehicles at the end of the rows, and you've got like a secured area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of not having all your preps. Like, I don't have everything at my house, and I have over a year's worth of food on location. We have a rule that we put 20% of all of our food supplies that we want to have, and we gave a certain number of calories we want met for everybody at Bug Out Location 1, because in the event of anything, that's where we all want to be, right? We've all decided that's the best place for survival for everybody. You know, it's a simple math. You know, if you have food, water, shelter, you have garden, you have way to reproduce food, and you have a defendable area, that's the best spot, right?
Yeah.
But I think that I want to go up to not something Gnostic said is the cities will be war zones and suburbs. I think that mindset is antiquated, because you can. The big thing that has happened in this last generation or two is nobody will talk to their neighbors. Nobody will hang out with their neighbors. None of that.
Yeah.
If you put the bug in, like my neighbor, I was growing my garden for 3 years before they did anything here. Then they did the Instagram garden. But guess what? They did a garden still, right? So they could produce some calories for themselves.
Yeah.
And the guy, he was in precision shooting. I got him into hunting. So now he actually hunts, and I help him grind his deer meat himself because he said it was too expensive. Okay, guess what? Now he's putting meat in his freezer too, and he's a good shot. So that's a great neighbor to have, and he's slowly becoming a prepper, homestead, self-sufficient without even thinking like that. Like, he just thinks it's a hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just nudging them along.
Yeah. So if you can do that for more people, and like he's came over and I was smoked a beer can chicken and I was smoking a bacon wrapped deer loin. He's like, "Hey, this is delicious. How did you do this?" So we talk about food preservation and what we do and kind of things that I stock, like seasonings and sauces and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, that's a really good idea." He's expanded his pantry even more now to include more things for longer term. And like, you get the gals like, "Oh man, I ran out of a cup of milk." It's like, why? How could you run out of milk, right? Or like, how could you run out of sugar? You know, that used to happen all the time. Well, people that ran out of toilet paper in COVID came to me, and I wasn't out of toilet paper, and they got toilet paper when they could otherwise not. And we had somebody who needed a wisdom tooth replaced, and they could not get Oragel. Okay, well, I had learned I had a tooth that couldn't get worked on for a month. That's just how far it was out. So I have Oragel on hand because I don't want that problem again. And they're like, "How do you have Oragel?" I'm like, "You're the one with the bad tooth. How do you not have Oragel? That's your problem. But I'm here to help you fix it." And now you're gonna, next time you go and they have some, you're not going to buy one box. You're going to buy 2 boxes, and you're going to put one in your pantry, in your medicine cabinet, whatever. So next time you have one to give away, right? And it's a really simple mindset to get people to do it. COVID was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people, and I think more people doubled their pantry, if not tripled, or, you know, went down our path for long-term storage and things like that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people around the town, when we walk, me and R do a 5 to 10 mile walk, depending on how long we go. And we've seen more people with ducks and chickens in town. We see a lot of people with extra dogs. We see extra cameras going up. We see all the good things that you want to see. And we're starting to see people with solar panels. We're starting to see people with one guy has a rabbit hutch by his German Shepherd now. So that's really cool to see when you can do an area study and start to see the people that are thinking the same wavelength as you. So those are the people you should talk to.
Yeah. You telling me to make more friends?
Yes, I am. But
so what about
community is such a big thing. Go for it.
What's everybody seeing as far as the government shutdown and like food stamp people? And what's the rumors in your AO?
180, huh? Yeah, EBT is the next topic. I haven't seen anything in mine. I've done 3 stock runs.
I haven't seen anything crazy either, and I've been pleasantly surprised about it.
Yeah, I was at the grocery store today, and one of the guys said he was having trouble, I guess, but a guy behind him said, well, mine doesn't hit till the 11th, so we'll see. But they weren't upset or anything. I think people, if it carries on for a while, I think people are going to start freaking out, but hopefully not.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think if it goes to like Thanksgiving season, that'll be more
the holidays. People are going to, I think people are going to freak the hell out.
I have seen videos of people running around and looting, just I think for the excuse that they could.
Yeah,
but I didn't see anybody sensible really doing it yet. But
is that new footage or is that recirculated footage?
Yeah, that was a today footage. Like they were running around just taking things out of people's carts and then just grabbing random crap. Like it wasn't really thought out. They just wore a mask and a trash bag and just
flash mob the place.
There's just a couple guys and everybody else was just standing there like, dude, you're being retarded right now. Like that's all I've really seen so far. But I think they have put it to November 3rd. So we'll see.
Well, my wife went to the grocery store today without me. I didn't even know she was going, or else I would have gone with her. And she had no issues whatsoever. My daughter works at a different grocery store, and they actually brought the employees together and like had a meeting about it, warning that there could be some, people behaving badly, I guess. But so far, I don't have any reports from her either.
We live in. Let them have it.
I didn't get that from them.
Yeah. I have family.
I didn't get that level of detail.
At a big box retailer, and I asked if they added any extra security or any measures as far as looting and whatnot, and they said no. And where we're at, it's probably not going to happen. They said, maybe the one that's like an hour away might have an issue just because, there's more people on that supplemental income over there. So it just also depends on where you live,
I know my wife was telling me, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that the uppers were talking about that if anybody comes to, they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it, but it's going to be something that they're going to do that if anybody does qualify for the assistance and doesn't get it, that they'll do like once or twice a week where you can bring your family into the job place and they'll do like family meal and include the families.
Nice.
But they also did stuff like that during the vid and stuff like that. So
yeah, I have seen some businesses posting like a more affordable meal and like kids under 12 eat free, which is, that's who I care about. It's the kids eating. Like most of the people, I mean, I'm a fat ass. I could probably skip a meal. I'll be fine. Let's be real. All of us could probably skip a dinner or lunch here and there. But kids and, elderly people and, 100%, disabled people that really can't, I know people are on that stuff and it's a shame, but hopefully they had some wherewithal to stock something.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike? You see anything crazy?
No. Like I said, just people kind of chit chat about it, but no incidents here in my city. So not yet, anyway. Yeah.
Good.
It almost feels like it's the whole part of this is like some psyop.
Huh, doesn't it?
Because it's like the beginning of COVID, nobody knew what was going on. Didn't know how bad it was going to be, but pretty quickly we learned, okay, it's bad, but it's not like if it was a pandemic, there'd be bodies in the street, and that just was not happening.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you this. It was a normal every day for me in COVID. It never stopped normal. I just went to work.
I don't want to, minimize anybody that lost anybody to that, but it was the flu, and it was made out to be that it was going to be so much more. And like through the whole thing, they just kept pushing about how bad this was, and we're and this feels oddly similar. Like, oh, the EBT, they're gonna riot.
44 million.
I just have this feeling that
Hold on, the aliens are
especially now, like this was the first time that they went to the store and the card didn't work. I'm sure they can go home and they can scrape through the cabinets and have something to eat. There's that saying, what does it go? Like, we're 3 missed meals away from chaos. Nobody's missed 3 meals yet. I don't think.
Right. 9 meals from anarchy.
Yeah. So whatever the saying is, we haven't hit that threshold yet. I don't believe.
Well, and a lot of people aren't subjected to even get their payout yet for like the next week or so.
Yeah, and the states are stepping in, and like they're declaring emergencies so they can use different funds to try and fund these programs for people. Like it's not the end of the world. Like,
yeah, well, the whole thing is it's going to be state dependent too. Like, I know in Florida, if it came down to it, like DeSantis hasn't said anything, but I know if came down to it, we have the surplus of money, he'd be like, yeah, whatever, and then just wait to try to get it back from the feds on the back end. But so I don't see it getting too crazy here, but I know there's some states that just straight run a deficit that won't be able to step in like that because they just run a deficit every year.
All right, well, I think we're just on a holding pattern for that topic. We'll see if anything actually foregoes with it. Currently, none of us has seen anything crazy. If one of us had, we'd probably pry into that further. So how about for like a get home bag or a bug out bag for all of your family? You mentioned you have kids going to higher education now. Do they have a setup in their vehicle to get home if their vehicle gets locked in? You're in a more heavily populated state than I am, like gridlock with traffic, things like that. Do they need a compass to get home from where they're going?
They do not need it.
Okay, that's good.
How dare you?
I had to.
All of his children are homing pigeons.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, they're just homing pigeons. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. That was too good.
I fell for it. That's good.
But like, does everybody in your family have, like I have a little get home rig for my son. He's 4. He's going to carry some weight, he's going to carry what I think would make him happy and maybe a change of socks and a jacket.
Kel-Tec stuff 2000.
I'm carrying that.
I was about to do a video actually on kind of redoing my get home bag, but it's sitting over here. But usually that stays at work. And I work, like I said, about 15 miles from home. It's a pretty straight shot. So, and my wife also owns a business that's close to where I work. So we're pretty fortunate that geographically we are all in the same general area. I have one son who moved away, not a couple hours away recently, but it gets harder with adult kids because once they start, thinking they're grown and doing what they want, you can make recommendations. But like my son told me, he goes, I went hiking the other day and I was totally unprepared and I left the survival kit that you made for me in the trunk of my car and I feel like I almost got hypothermia. It's like, dude, I run a channel. Like, what is your problem? Like, you're gonna make me look bad. Like, you can't die in the mountains. Yeah, So, it's harder with adult kids, but they listen. I think they listen.
They can't be told. They have to learn it themselves, unfortunately.
I'm done being their teacher once they leave the house, and then life has to do that job for me. So that's harder. But in the house, like we had a fire bug out where we had to leave because of a pretty big fire. That was a pretty valuable lesson for us. But we've all got bug out bags now. More, not for like going to the woods. I think that's probably never going to happen for us. Like we will never have to evacuate from the house and decide to go survival camping, right? I don't have any place to go into the woods. I just wouldn't do that. So without a retreat property or something like that, we're probably going to be bugging over to hotel or a friend's house, or probably more also in like a suburban or urban setting. So that's kind of my focus. Is I keep a lot of my preps decentralized between where I work, where my wife's business is, and home, and then where two of my adult kids live. So we have another property. We have a duplex where they stay, and then so we're able to decentralize quite a bit and kind of spread things out a little bit in terms of, even though we're in a suburban and urban setting, I think we're set up pretty well.
I like that. I have also deleted the bug out bag. I have a bug out system, and it's like 2 giant duffels and a bunch of bags and blah 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 and totes, and it's like a 15-minute load to the back of my truck. Like it's a bed load of stuff. Like that's what you need to camp sufficiently for a month and survive.
Yeah, we moved to bins because there's just so much stuff that we, with a family this big, that we just can't carry it on our backs. It's silly to think that we can. So I've moved to a bin system and working on getting it all labeled and cataloged and to make it efficient. So if they have to do it without me or I'm not here, that they can still accomplish that. So
yeah, I like that. I think I've just done the get home rig because everything I have to survive is here and or at a location that we know how to get to.
Right.
So I think it's probably died in prepper fantasy as well.
Right.
I think the sling bag's handy. I think a small light backpack. If you can't get it done with 20 pounds worth of stuff, then you probably don't have enough knowledge and skills. That's your problem. You need to learn.
Yep. I agree.
Anybody have anything they want to go in on that?
Yeah. What would you say was your biggest takeaway from that fire evacuation?
It's actually where I came up. I did a couple of videos early on, again, trying to piss people off, ragging on SHTF and like bugging out. And it's where I came up with the term TOTSI, turd on the carpet, right? So what I was ready for was survival camping and CQBing in the woods, right? That's what I was ready for. But it turns out we had to spend 4 days in a hotel. What I didn't have was my daughter's pillow that she can't sleep without, my son's medication, feminine products for my daughters. So like, I used to think that preparing for SHTF meant you would be prepared for everything in between normal and SH. I don't believe that anymore. Now I prep. I do some of this, but I spend 80% of my time and effort and resources prepping for the most likely scenario, which I think is smaller, local, not going to last forever. It's not everywhere. It's not all at once, right? That's what I call TOTSI, turd on the carpet. So I did this for a long time, but if I find myself prepping for the smaller in between stuff more often now, and because that's what I'm in my situation. That's what I'm more likely to face. I will never throw a backpack on and tell my wife and kids, throw your backpack on. We're walking 60 miles into the woods to live from now on. Like it's just the fantasy,
Yeah. I mean, we lose power here in the winter quite a bit. We go 3 days to a week without power. So we have backup heat. We have backup electricity. I have solar generators, regular generators, a truck, 4-wheeler, shovels, normal people stuff for winter. Right. And yeah. And that's what you're going to use most, I think. And, if you can't get gas or diesel out of a thing, you need to have some fuel stored so you can get somewhere if you can't stay there anymore.
Some of the lessons we learned was I came out of that starting to do fuel storage because the gas stations were closed or out very quickly once people decided they were supposed to evacuate. And then probably the other big lesson was staying ahead of the mob, like moving before people decide to move. I think that's important.
That's mostly what I prep for is I live in a natural disaster prone state. So I don't want to have to be out there and deal with the 2,000 people that are standing in line for water. I can purify my own water. Just stay out of that dangerous situation. I don't want to have to hit the store for a whole bunch of canned goods and stand in line for 2 hours when I can be sitting at home putting boards up on windows.
Fighting people for toilet paper.
Yeah, I'm just not fucking doing it. Especially in a state that's heavily armed. I'm not fucking doing it.
Right. Yeah, staying ahead of the mob, I think, is very important.
I agree. I think the wet dream fun, like zombie apocalypse or whatever, that's fun. But some people really, really got into that. Like Walking Dead, that's when I really started watching the prepping channels, and people went crazy with it, right?
Right.
But I think you should do probably your 3 most likely scenarios. For me, it's tornadoes, windstorms, winter. Job loss, baby. That's what the food's for. That cuts out a big expense, right?
Right.
I think more realistic approach on prepping is harder now, especially with the big channels that are like, oh, I was a SEAL for 30 years, and now this is the only way you can prep, and you have to have an armory and a freaking deuce and a half that's armored with a 50 cal. Okay, normal people can't have that shit.
Nope.
Like.
Even a lot of the stuff out there on Minuteman and Prepared Citizen, those are kind of the popular terms right now. Even a lot of that stuff where they're talking about fire teams and you need a machine gunner and a grenadier and
sniper.
I'm never gonna need a grenadier. Just never, ever. I'm not doing it. Even if the opportunity came and I had all the equipment and the time came, my wife would be like, "Hey, you're not going." So
right.
I'm never gonna do it. So.
Yeah.
I'd find some other way to survive.
Speaking of Prepared Citizens, let's walk back to EDC. Prepared Citizens TG, he's a friend of the channel. He runs a medical company and a firearms training course and whatnot, and medical courses. If you haven't looked at a Slishman tourniquet, it's a pressure wrap. It's made more for kids and dogs because of the bone structure. It's $10. It's a really easy piece of medical kit to carry with you. Yeah, I carry a snake staff tourniquet and a Slishman every day. Because I've added more medical to my EDC. I used to carry a fixed blade, and now where I carried the fixed blade, I carry a tourniquet.
Well, there you go.
Because A, I'm not a knife fighting dude, and B, I'm probably going to happen across a car wreck before I need to knife fight some dude. You know what I mean?
I'm never going to knife fight either. So
right, yeah, I'm going straight to guns, and I was like, well, that was just stupid. That's just weight I didn't need. At the end of the day. So if you get the chance, I actually showed a guy on a plane on my way back from Florida because he was talking to me. He worked with at-risk youth, and I gave him my Slishman out of my pocket because I had one in the car for my boy, and he has one in his backpack right next to the D-choker. Now he's kind of too big for that. I need another one, but
yeah,
that's just stuff I had on me, right? And the gal, the flight stewardess, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm showing this dude how to do this tourniquet real quick," and she's like, "Oh, okay." Like, that's weird. But I'm like, yeah, look, it's like 2 seconds. I'll show you can do it if you want to. But it's pretty much dummy proof. You can it has Velcro on one side. Once you cinch it down on wherever you're going to put it, you literally can't mess it up after you get one wrap around on it. Like, I showed my wife how to do it once. She knows how to do it. My 4-year-old can almost do it, but he can't stop the pulse enough. But we have those at our church. We have those worked into our school systems around here. We have them worked into daycares here. They're super cheap. And
$10, huh?
Yeah, $10. You can use my discount code TMT if $10 is too much. It gets you 10% off. He has other stuff too, but I've really been preaching the community and medical carry. You're going to use a tourniquet in your lifetime before carrying an AR into the backseat of your truck, right?
That's right. That's
Just
right.
saying.
Yep. You said Slishman?
Yeah. Sam Slishman invented it. He was actually in war-torn area, and he was like improvising rats tourniquets with medical tubing on kids because regular tourniquets weren't stopping the bleed for kids. So, yeah, you can shoot them. Somebody shot one with a pistol, a shotgun. I gave one to a buddy he's a canine on the sheriff department for his dog because tourniquet's not going to work for the dog, right?
Oh, so, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
And you can use them for other things too. Like, if you need to hurry up and, make an arm sling out of something, it'll work. Somebody hurts their ankle, wrap them up.
Yeah.
Nice.
He has an
Pretty cool
orange
use.
one. So in Minecraft, if you're in an active shooter scenario and you're the guy, you can be on the phone with the police, say, "Yo, don't shoot the guy with the sash on that's orange."
I like that.
Yeah, so it's worth checking out. You can learn how to use it in 5 minutes.
Okay,
Thank
you.
Yeah, so I didn't know if you do you carry medical in your EDC or no?
Yeah, I got Refuge picked me up pretty quick, so I'm affiliated with Refuge, and I think I saw a Slishman in one of their kits. I was like, "What is this thing?" I didn't
Yeah, they
recognize.
sell Slishmans.
Yeah, but yeah, we do it in the cars. I carry a boo-boo kit in my EDC bag, but I was looking at adding at least maybe a tourniquet. It sounds like that might be a good option to do that.
Yeah,
You throw 2 or 3 of those in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've given 6 away. Lawfully gives them away like crazy.
Nice. I'll do that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure if you want to hop in with Jay too, he has a channel and he is competing with Bear and well, yeah, I mean it's his company now, but he's a smaller company, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
So, cool. Sorry, I wanted to revisit that. That's something I've really been pushing the last couple months is medical, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one right there. There's an orange one.
Yeah.
They fold up in your back pocket. You can't even feel they're there.
That's small. Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty sweet.
If you leave it in the package, it's even smaller.
This is true. But like a tourniquet in the package is almost useless, right?
It's like,
The Ziploc bag is different than the Ziploc bag that Jay ships in is completely different than the shrink wrap and the unstaged cat tourniquet.
Like, can you see this is all like caught and fraying and stuff?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been carrying it out of the bag, and it snags on everything. Any little bit of Velcro on your pants or anything, it is all about it. It wants to stick to it.
Yeah, the new medical thing I've been carrying from Apex Development has that issue where I did have to put it in a sleeve, but that thing's awesome. You should check those out. It's pretty comfortable carrying. I need to get some quick clot in there and some chest seals. But, anyway, sorry, I totally diverted. Check them out. It's a good product. I recommend it.
I will.
All right, let's. You got a message for everybody out there that you want to like spread to the world?
A message?
Yeah. Like if nobody's ever seen you before, and they're like, "Oh, but we see Tactical Muffin Top all the time, even though this guy's humongous." I got a few ears that you don't reach.
Maybe like I said before, I guess my channel is for what we call the 68%, but I often say that it's my goal to get as much fear and fantasy out of prepping as possible. It's an uphill battle. You know, the channels that do well rely pretty heavily on fear and fantasy.
Yes.
I don't have time or money to do it. I just don't. So, you know, I feel like there's a lot of people who are left out of the prepping space because they're not on that end or on that end. So my channel's for that group right in the middle, you know? So, and I think it's working. I know other channels are watching and they're beginning to tailor some of their content, you know, based on that idea. So hopefully if enough of us kind of tilt towards common sense and away from fear and fantasy, I think that stuff leaves us less prepared, you know? I
agree.
Like
if you're waiting for the Yellowstone super volcano, you're probably going to miss something that's every year occurrence, right?
That's right. So, I think at first I went back and watched my very first video and I said the prepping channel for the middle, and I was like, that's kind of gay, so I changed it. So it was too bland, you know. But yeah, I think there's room, and I think there's so much to be said for that group in that meaty part of the bell curve. That's my message. My message is, how do they work a regular job, you know, live a relatively normal life and still be prepared for what's coming?
Yeah, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything they want to put in?
I'd like to ask if you've ever considered like an e-bike or something, because you're so close to home, for getting home when if everyone gets the signal at the same time and you can't get out before everyone else, or to get home before everyone else.
My get home
You ever
strategy is a bike. So I've got a bike in a locker at my work site where it's got water, it's got repair and maintenance tools. That's my get home plan. So in fact, there's a trail that I can ride that has no traffic on it. Like it's just for bikes and hiking and stuff like that. It'll get me pretty much most of the way home. That's my get home strategy, actually, is a bicycle. I'd love to do like a e-scooter or something. I've looked at them. I just don't have $1,000 for a good one. So
Right.
I'm waiting for a company to sponsor me, and then maybe I'll do it. But
Yeah, that would be awesome. I even thought regular scooters, because you can get those at garage sales and stuff cheap. Dude, you can throw those in the trunk of a car. 4 scooters for your family, whatever, 5. They don't hardly take up any room, just saying, people.
And scooting is
seen
quicker
some-
than walking.
I've seen some people really boogieing along with those e-bikes now.
yeah,
Or if you're cool, you could get Heelys.
I don't think those are cool anymore.
Oh, right.
I think I'd prefer a bike over a scooter, just because you can pedal with the batteries dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And a 28-inch rim is going to go over a lot more roots and rocks and whatever than a 4-inch scooter wheel.
Yeah, I remember I pissed a lot of people off then too, because I was like, walking is dumb. Like if you have access to wheels, why wouldn't you use wheels? Walking takes 5 times as long. If you find something with wheels, it's going to get you there a hell of a lot faster. And I think in a get home scenario, that should be the goal, is to get to your stuff and people as fast as you can. So
Right. I'm busting out that big wheel, baby. Let's do this.
yeah, whatever's got wheels. I don't, so.
I was watching something. They were making fun of all the like the Walking Dead show, and it's like, did everyone just forget that bicycles exist? Like, why is everyone walking everywhere?
Right.
Mhm. I did want to address something, because LCPL, I don't know how to pronounce
Lance
that last
Corporal
word.
Schmuckatelli.
Yes. I did not mean to cause any offense when I was saying the deer thing. I'm not a racist bastard. He's like, you have a mixed family. I wasn't targeted at you or anything. So I just wanted to address that.
I do have 8 kids, so
yeah, I mean,
I don't know how
he's
much
happy regardless. So
Schmuckatelli is one of my pretty loyal watchers. So
yeah, I figured
he's always
a new name for me. So. Yeah, that wasn't what I was trying to poke at or anything.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But no, I think this is a pretty good. I mean, we've almost been going 2 hours, and I don't want to take you away from anything that you had planned for the rest of the evening, or so you can get back to what you're doing. I had a good chat with you. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, everybody else enjoyed it. Yeah, man. You can post this up on your channel, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, I had a good time. If you're ever bored or want to do it again, let me know, man.
Yeah, I'll drop in.
Sweet.
I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Right.
I appreciate you having me.
See you, everybody. Have a good evening.
All right.
Y'all be nice.
Hey,
Be naughty.
Easy now.